In this video, we're going to cover everything you need to know about setting up and using Infoplus Insights, your operations key to unlocking the power of data-driven decision-making in your fulfillment operations. In the dynamic world of shipping and order processing, understanding your order data in real time is not just an advantage, it's a necessity. Infoplus Insights is not your average analytics tool, it's a game changer. This feature harnesses the force of machine learning to mine your data, providing valuable insights and patterns and connections that go beyond historical analysis. Today, we'll explore how you can leverage Infoplus Insights to optimize your fulfillment processes and gain a competitive edge in your market. Accessing this powerful tool is seamless. Simply log into your Infoplus Commerce account and navigate to the dashboard. From there, you'll find the Insights icon in the main menu. You can also access the tool by using the Quick Actions menu by clicking the period button on your keyboard and begin typing the word Insights. Now, let's dive in and explore how this tool can revolutionize the way you manage your fulfillment operations. The Insights module is broken up into two sections, a left and right pane. In the left pane, this is where you'll see your orders prioritized by due dates and be able to group those orders by warehouse, lines of business, service types, and other order groupings, depending on what is important to your operation. We do this by using SLAs that are calculated by rules configured within each line of business or their order sources. We'll jump into setting up SLAs later on in this video. For now, just understand that SLAs, or service level agreements, are the commitments you make to your customers that outline expected service levels and performance metrics. For 3PLs and 4PLs, this is typically outlined in the contracts negotiated with your customers. For retailers or e-commerce brands, this is the commitment you've made to your customer for getting their order to them. Many times this is based on the carrier service type selected at checkout, or perhaps based on where the order originated. Think same-day shipping on Amazon, for example. As we take a closer look, you'll notice right away that we have 15 orders past due, 130 orders due today, and note I'm filming this on a Friday, so I don't have anything due tomorrow or the rest of the week. However, next week we have 245 orders, we have 31 due in future weeks, and we have about 3 that are on back order that cannot be fulfilled right now. As we dive into the left pane, you'll discover the flexibility to configure your view within the Insights tool. Tailor it to your specific needs by adjusting the configuration filter, ensuring that the view you receive aligns perfectly with your unique business requirements. You can see here we have warehouse, SLA status, line of business, service type, production type, order grouping. This level of customization empowers you to focus on what matters most, streamlining your fulfillment across multiple warehouses for maximum efficiency. For example, if I wanted to see how many orders are due by warehouse or line of business, I simply select those in my filter option, I hit update, and now I can see what our orders look like across all of our facilities. If I click into a facility, I can then, again, see my SLA status here, and then I can see my lines of business. I'm going to remove those for now and just focus on SLA status and order groupings. As I just mentioned, we'll take a closer look at how to create your own service types and other configurations needed to properly set up Insights later in this video. However, service types, just as they sound, allow you to easily sort and group your orders and establish SLAs by the type of service needed. In this scenario for orders due next week, you can see we have customer order, we have LTL, FTL orders, we have Amazon FBA orders, and we have a couple subscription box orders as well. With the ability to create custom service types, Infoplus gives every operation the ability to establish their own SLAs for any situation. Beyond service types, you'll also see production types and order groupings, which are both determined by Infoplus. Production types will either be considered small pack or large pack, i.e., are they shipping parcel and below the carrier weight breaks, or are they shipping non-parcel or over 500 pounds? You can see the LTL, FTL here are considered large, and these are multi-SKU. So drilling down further, these are the order groupings. So you can notice that Infoplus Insights right away calls out identical lines, and we recommend mass distribution. These orders are identical. You can go pick everything you need at once, bring them back to a pack area, print all your packing and shipping documents, and quickly get those out the door. We have 57 orders that are ungrouped, which means there's no real trends or pattern in the data. And you may also see similar SKUs where it groups orders that have similar SKUs, but they're not exactly identical. Users have the option to click into any set of order groupings they wish to view at one time. Let's click into the ungrouped set of 57 orders here under small pack 1 unit. As we shift our focus to the right pane, we enter the heart of Insights with open order information. Here, you'll find real-time data on production models and estimated labor, guiding you to the most effective method of order fulfillment. Again, we'll cover setting these up later in the video. However, in its simplest form, production model insights immediately show your operation which method of picking based on estimated touches, reducing footsteps, and overall estimated cost of labor, taking any guesswork out of the equation on how a group of orders should be processed. Understanding the critical role of production models is paramount in optimizing fulfillment operations. Much like parcel rate shopping, where the goal is to seek the most cost or time-effective shipping option for each order, employing production models ensure that your fulfillment processes are dynamically aligned with the ever-changing landscapes of orders and volumes. Order grouping could look very different from day to day or even hour to hour. Think of flash sales or influencer marketing where you get high demand over just a few SKUs in a short time. You'll most likely want to consider a pick-by-item method. Here's a quick diagram that illustrates this. Feel free to pause the video and analyze this. In a world where operational efficiency is key, relying on a static approach risks missing out on potential efficiencies. Just as customers adapt their shipping choices based on real-time circumstances, fulfillment operations must diversify their picking strategies to maximize efficiency and cost effectiveness as well. Production models empower businesses to analyze and adjust their methodologies continuously, ensuring they not only keep pace with the fluctuating demands, but also unlock the most efficient ways of order fulfillment. It's about staying agile and getting the most bang for your operational buck every time. All too often do we see warehouses picking all orders with just one strategy. Moving down into predicted fulfillment summary, this just gives users the ability to see how many orders are involved, the total number of lines, the number of SKUs, the total quantity, estimated touches, what lines of businesses are involved, what order sources the orders came from, and what carriers are being used. In addition, it gives you SKU density. The higher your SKU density, the more alike your orders are. 100% SKU density means these orders are identical. You can see here we're at 10%, which, relating it back to the fulfillment methodology that we just talked about, that's why it's giving us a pick to cart by order. These are not very alike. There's really no trends or patterns, so it's best to pick those by order. Moving down into the predicted fulfillment SKU details, this gives users an overview of all the SKUs associated with an order grouping. It allows them to quickly identify inventory discrepancies and take action instantly. Remove orders with specific SKUs, or if needed, focus on specific SKUs. So for example, here you can see this particular item, we don't have any in stock, and we see that there's 3 orders that need it. So if I quickly want to remove those 3 orders, I can click on the SKU, and from the action menu here, I can just remove orders for those selected SKUs, which lets me move on with all the orders that I can fulfill. Or likewise, maybe I want to get rid of all the other orders and just focus on these 3 so I can take some sort of customer service action. So in order to do that, all I would need to do is hide out of stock SKUs. That leaves me with all of my good SKUs. I can select them all, and then I can remove those. So here, this just leaves me with the order that I can't fulfill so that I can go into them and take action on them. Which leads me into my next point of insights is at the top, right, you can take immediate action. So if these were good orders, I can immediately run fulfillment. I could export to Excel for further analysis, or I can click View Orders, which takes you into the order table where you would normally be operating out of. So these are those 3 orders that we just mentioned that we can't ship. You can see here the fulfillability details tells you, hey, insufficient inventory for all SKUs on this order. So maybe I want to tag these, maybe I want to reach out to my customer or get a hold of the customers to let them know, hey, we need to get inventory in before we can ship this out to you. From within the order table, you can add some insight-specific fields such as SLA date, SLA status, the service type, and the service level. The SLA status will show you when orders are due, like we mentioned earlier, and after the orders are shipped, it will then switch over to tell you if it's shipped early, shipped on time, or shipped late, giving you even further metrics and analysis to report on. Let's go ahead and find an order that is fulfillable based on inventory. If you click into an order, you'll notice there's an order insight section, which again gives you that order-related SLA status, date, production type, and if there's similar orders to it, you'll get a link that tells you there are 10 open orders similar SKUs to this one. So if you click on this link, it will take you to the insight screen with those 10 orders filtered that you can then run fulfillment on. Now let's talk about how to configure Infoplus Insights correctly. From the quick action menu, which again is the period key on your keyboard, if you type the word Insights, you're going to see a section called Insights Setup. So there's 4 different tables here. and there's actually two others that I'm going to mention not included here that we'll need to correctly set up to make sure that the SLA dates are being calculated correctly. So let's start left to right, and let's start a non-business day. Non-business day is exactly what it sounds like. Just tell Infoplus when are the days that you will not be in the warehouse or fulfilling orders. So you can see here, company Christmas party, Christmas Day, Thanksgiving, all your normal holidays, or if you have other dates that you're not working, you can enter those in here as well, and Infoplus knows to ignore those dates for your SLAs. Your standard business days is very much when do you work? Are you Monday through Friday? Do you have weekend shifts? So just telling Infoplus when is the next day that you can ship. Warehouse service types, like we mentioned earlier, this is where users can come in and define whatever service types meet their needs. So here we have customer order, job, outside vendor, which is essentially drop shipping, kitting, transfers, LTL, special request, Amazon FBA, subscription box, kitting required. Or if you have something that you need to add, simply hit create new, give it a name and a quick description, and then that's available for use as service types. All right, before we jump into production models, I quickly also want to point out an important field on the warehouse table. So if you click into any warehouse, you're going to notice a time zone. So make sure that all of your warehouses have correct time zones set. Again, so when we're looking at SLAs, if an order comes in before noon, it might be same day shipping. If it's afternoon, you have a 1 day turnaround time. So make sure your time zones are set appropriately for all of your different warehouses. All right, now let's jump over to production models. So we mentioned it earlier when you're looking at the Insights screen, is that production models are essentially your fulfillment plans in Infoplus. These are all the different ways you have of picking and all the different strategies that you could potentially use, right? So every single production model, it lets you come in here and it's going to let you step by step. Let me go into edit screen. It's going to let you step by step create any production model that you might be using, right? So if I hit add here, I can add as many steps as I need that incorporate an entire process. So for pick to cart layout by order, for example, the first steps is running fulfillment, right? Your size function, you have a couple options there. If I go into add, you can base it, constant. It's just a one-time kind of cost. It can be based off number of SKUs, number of orders, number of cartons, pick touches, pack touches, layout by order, by item, number of SKUs. So you have quite a few different options as far as the size function. And then you get to assign an arbitrary cost. This value can be anything. We typically recommend the seconds that it takes to perform an action, right? So on average, running fulfillment might take 150 seconds for your team to do. Reviewing the fulfillment process, about 30 seconds. Finding the work out in the app, 10 seconds. Assigning cart and cart positions, about 30 seconds. And then picking, for example, now it's based off the number of SKUs on the order, and it takes about 35 seconds per order. Packing the orders probably takes about 25 seconds per order. Shipping the orders, another 15 seconds. Staging orders for pickup, maybe that's 60 seconds, and that's just a constant size function. So you get to tell us any kind of cost or arbitrary cost that you would like to assign to that particular step in the production model. Going back to the Insights screen, that is how Infoplus determines the estimated costs associated with each estimated labor production model here. All right, beyond production models, you'll also need to set up line of business and order sources correctly. So let's start with line of business. So I'm going to click into Carter's Car Accessories, this first line of business, and you'll notice right away we have some service defaults. So if nothing is specified on the order as it comes in, it's going to land as a customer order. The SLA service day is 0, which means same day, as long as they get it in before 11 a.m. What you can then do is establish further SLA rules. So for example, as long as it comes in by 2 p.m., you'll get it out in 1 day. If it's a customer order and it came from Amazon and it's before 11 a.m., it's going to be same day service. If it's same thing for Shopify before 11 a.m., it's a same day service. If it's Amazon FBA, for example, and it comes in before 3 p.m., it'll be a 2-day service. And then you can set these up for all the different service types, service levels, all the order sources. You can establish specific rules that meets the needs of those services. If you already have a line of business set up that has good rules in place, you can also import those from one line of business to another to make the setup quick and easy. And you can also test your SLAs by coming to the action menu and choosing to test SLA rules. If we explore the order source, you can also establish default SLAs based on the order source. So if I come into edit here, you can see the default service type, anything that's coming from Amazon. We can default to customer order. Maybe this is Amazon FBA order source, then we would default it to Amazon FBA so that it automatically assigns the correct service type as it enters the system. That's essentially it. So once you have all of those set up in Infoplus, then what you can do is come back to your Insights screen. You can hit refresh, or what you might need to do is go into your order table. And if you already have orders in the system before you set that up, you can select the orders that are in need of getting calculated by Insights. And from the action menu, you have the ability to recalculate Insights. This is also useful if something changed. Maybe a customer called in and said, hey, I need this today, or some sort of service level changed on it and you've edited the order. You can then choose it, recalculate it so that it shows up appropriately in your Insights screen. If you have any questions, you can always feel free to reach out to Infoplus support. We do have an extensive knowledge base that I will link in the description below. It'll probably be a pop-up on the screen as well. But we really hope you enjoy this feature. There's a huge return on investment on it, and I hope you're as excited as we are for it. Until next time.